Welcome, welcome.
Hello out there.
Hello.
Welcome to our podcast.
This is Relatably Random. I am Allison.
I'm Katie.
And if you didn't notice, we have another special guest with us tonight. This is our padre, the Faja, Donald Sir Marco.
That's me.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Thanks so much for entertaining us all tonight.
Well, we'll see how entertaining I am.
Yeah.
Welcome to our weird little corner of the internet.
Yes. Yeah. And this is the rock and roll episode, guys. This is the one you wanna listen to.
No, you want to listen to all of them.
Yeah, you want to listen to all of them.
But if you had to listen to one, well, this is the one. If you like rock and roll.
If you like rock and roll.
Yeah.
And good tunes.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about rock and roll. We're going to be talking about music mostly. Yeah.
Mostly music in general.
All kinds of music.
Because I'm not strictly rock and roll.
That's right.
Although that
me neither.
That's where you cut your teeth.
Yeah.
At least my generation cut their teeth on rock and roll.
True.
Yeah.
Some of the generations before you did on jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Blues,
jazz is rather nice.
Yeah. Jazz can.
Hey, we go all the way back to Beethoven, folks, and before. So first we like to do a little segment called Psyched and Sucked. Do you have anything that sucked about your week, or that's anything that you're psyched about?
Well, what sucked is just the cold this weekend.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm not a cold weather person, so
it was so bad.
No.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
You would have emigrated to Florida.
Well,
if not for the politics.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Right. If they could bring the weather
and the
Florida
hurricanes.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I think if I had my druthers, I'd probably go to Europe. Portugal, Spain.
That sounds nice.
Something like that.
Right.
Someplace with tapas.
Tapas?
Yeah.
Tapas, and I feel like the weather's pretty tolerable over there.
Mild.
It doesn't get too crazy cold.
No extremes.
Your mom was on the phone the other day with the weather, and she said it was 50 degrees, and it was 2:00 in the morning in Paris, and it was still 50 degrees.
Oh, see? You could go outside in Paris at 50 degrees.
Yeah.
You could go
walking around
without
Absolutely.
being freezing and your fingers hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that.
I don't even think they know what, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't even know if they really have to have the extreme jackets and winter wear.
They just need a trench
that we have.
maybe.
And when we were having these low temperatures, I'm pretty sure we were the only people having these low temperatures. Even New York was not as cold as us.
I did see something that it said Chicago was -2 and Antarctica was 30 degrees.
Yes,
I saw that.
Right.
But it's summer there.
That is true.
It's close to summer. It's late fall. It's late spring there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would explain.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the man that knows way more than us. We probably need him in most podcasts to just fact check.
Fact checking.
Yeah.
That was one of my sucked, actually, is that it was so cold because Allison and I went to Alex's show on Saturday night. It didn't start till 10, which also sucked.
Yes. Well, it's past my bedtime.
Yes, way past my bedtime. I'm usually in REM at that time, actually. But I was psyched about his show, though. It was nice. It was a good show. He did well. The venue was cool. It was Duke's in Crystal Lake.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Illinois. Yeah. And the band really sounded good. I took
a
couple videos. I'll
very
show you
well
later.
rounded and very good. Yeah.
Is it still just Alex and Frank, or is it? Or do they have a bass player now?
They have a bass player now named Dylan. Yeah, Dylan, and they actually do the theme song to this podcast.
Yeah, She-Wolf.
Yeah, She-Wolf is the name of the song.
We got to listen to our entire theme song.
Yes.
In live performance. So that was great.
That was great.
So is that your psyched and sucked all
in one little sandwich? Yeah.
My sucked is connected to that.
Okay.
So it was a great night, but as you mentioned, that is when I am usually sleeping. I'm usually, I usually, without having coffee, which I don't drink these days much anymore, without that, I'm usually like, head bobbing at 9:30, like on the couch.
Oh yeah, your eyes get heavy,
and so as I told you, I was like, I'm gonna drink my coffee at 9 a.m. Right? Well, we had to take our daughter to the doctor because she's got a bad cough on Saturday morning. So I didn't get to drink my coffee until 11 a.m.
Okay.
And when we left the venue, which was like what, at 12:30, something like that, and we got home by 1:15. I got home earlier than you because you dropped me off, but
exactly,
I was still pretty awake.
Really?
So that really sucked for me because caffeine is just so like, and I feel like I had 2 drinks, and I feel like I not only had a hangover from only 2 drinks, but I had a caffeine hangover too.
The next day?
Yeah. And so Sunday was just very rough for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to me, and it's alcohol really doesn't put you to sleep.
No,
alcohol
actually,
keeps you awake.
Yeah.
If I drink, that's why, like on Fridays, on our Fridays when you guys come over, I'll usually pour my drink about 4 because I drink once a week. And I pour my drink about 4:30. Okay. Because if I'm by the time I'm done with my drink, it's usually the rest of the night, and then I can generally sleep through the night. I don't sleep. I haven't slept through the night since. Oh, okay. I'm usually up a couple of times a night anyway to go to the bathroom, but
but yeah, it can kind of mess with your sleep. There's a fine line. Like when you drink it, how much you drink.
Right.
Can really affect your sleep.
Well, and that's why I like having a drink, but I also feel like I need to have a drink at the right time.
Yeah.
Although I was really having a lot of fun at our outing.
Nice.
That was, it was a great night, but that was also like my sucked because it was just my schedule was messed up, my sleep was messed up, and it was also really cold that night. And I think I was up because my body couldn't regulate the temperature. And I wasn't completely tired because of the caffeine and the alcohol. And then Sunday was rough for me, and I had a lot of things to do on Sunday.
Yeah.
I had to make pico de gallo. I had to cook all the meals. I had to make Rice Krispie treats for Zoe's Christmas party on Friday.
Aww.
Yeah, so like there's just I had to be
prepared
mom.
for the week.
Yeah,
and it's hard to do that on
low energy,
few hours of sleep and a little bit of chemical residual thing.
But the nice thing about my weekend was we watched the newest Knives Out movie, and I really liked it.
Something with the dead man, something.
I can't remember what the title was. But it's the latest one with Josh Brolin and Jeremy Renner.
That looks good. I want to see it.
Yeah. Daniel Craig. Well, he's in all of them.
Craig, yeah.
But it was very good. Yeah.
Good.
So
I'll have to watch that.
What about you, Dad? Do you have a psyched moment and a sucked moment?
Well, that's what I said.
The sucked was
the cold. Okay.
But what about the psyched for you?
What were you psyched about this week?
What was I psyched about this week?
Yeah.
The podcast?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that.
Okay.
But, I always get psyched about Christmas.
For sure.
If it was warmer out, I'd really be psyched about Christmas, but Christmas is a really nice time of the year.
Yeah, he'd rather decorate a palm tree, folks.
Yes.
Yeah. Christmas is a nice time of year. The food,
I love
the people, the gift giving, the surprises.
Right.
Speaking of that, remind me, you guys, after the recording, we need to talk about stuff we're bringing to Christmas dinner because I think I have a couple of ideas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll jump into our
musical
topic. Yeah.
Sure.
So why I asked you, or what we asked you to talk about music, is because my earliest memories of music is listening to your music in the car,
Yes.
or I mean, in the house too.
Yeah, you had that silver stereo.
Yeah.
And you had the big speakers.
Yes.
And the bookcases lined with CDs because
Right.
that was the times, folks.
Yep.
And then we
Well,
also
I had LPs.
yeah, you had records
But-
too, but you sold them because the CDs were in vogue.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
everybody thought nobody's going to need a record
Anymore.
ever again.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
right. That's true. And really, to me, I don't miss the pops and spits of the LPs. I mean,
Okay.
I don't even know why LPs are back now. Vinyl's back now.
You know why it is?
The sound is just so much better on CDs.
CD.
Can I tell you why? And it's a millennial thing. Millennials are addicted to nostalgia.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably
We
true.
we have a nostalgia kink,
Yeah.
you know?
And maybe they've gotten some of the static out with like new technology or something, but I don't know. I don't have a.
I will
record
say
player.
I think my records sound just as pristine as a
A
CD.
CD.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think they have gotten
well, maybe they
some of the
the
kinks out of
technology's
that.
gotten better.
Right.
The other thing that I do like about records is something that people might not like about it. I like that it actually forces me to listen to an album the whole way through.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
feel like with CDs there's and just, you know, online music, there's so much skipping. You're just like, you know what, I'm impatient. I want to listen to what I want to listen to right now.
Right.
But like when you have a record on, you know, unless you know this precise spot to put the needle,
Mhm.
Right.
you have to listen to that thing front to back. And sometimes I feel like I find a song that I might not have necessarily like really liked grow on me
Mhm.
because I had to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But music. Go ahead.
There are very few albums that are A-side songs all the way through.
Yeah, no
That's
records
for
are usually
sure.
bangers all
Yeah.
the way through.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
got to have a couple filler songs.
Mm-hmm.
But Beatles. I mean, you're a big Beatles fan.
Well, yes, of course.
As are
Yeah.
we.
You know,
We used to listen to Breakfast with the Beatles.
1964. It I think it was February 10th, 1964. The Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. So
Right.
What a nice birthday treat for you.
Yeah.
So
And you listened to the Beatles back then? Did you see that episode
Well,
of the Ed Sullivan
oh,
Show?
yeah.
But you were a child, of course.
I was 2
But
years old.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
No,
So
well, see, I have an older brother and an older sister. My brother's 12 years older. My sister's 6 years older,
Mhm.
and you know they listen to rock and roll. I mean, they listen to all the 50s rock and roll.
okay.
My sister Linda actually liked WVON back then, which was African American music.
Okay.
So I got to hear
A lot of rock and
a
soul.
lot of rock and roll. You know, Danny and the Juniors, Buddy Holly, and I've always liked Buddy Holly.
Same.
But
Yes.
I think it was 1963, my brother brought home a Beatles album, and we listened to the
Okay.
Beatles album, and that's where we first heard about the Beatles.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Wow. But I remember that music in the car and just
Yeah.
oldies music in the car. It was oldies when I was
Oldies
Yeah,
104.3.
The Doors, Led Zeppelin, of course. But
Yes.
you were talking about your brother and
The
sister.
Who.
The Who, yeah. Your parents, do you think they influenced you in any way? Or what kind of music did they
musically.
listen
Well,
What
to?
did they listen to?
They listened. Well, I can remember they had a rack of LPs,
Mhm.
and it was a pretty eclectic. There was some Frank Sinatra. There was some Louis Prima.
Okay.
They had the soundtrack for Zorba the Greek. So
Okay.
there was that music. It was a very
Nice.
Okay.
it was
Any
very
Dean Martin?
yes, the Dean Martin. Well, my father was
Dean
Italian, so
Martin
of course
and Frank
Frank
Sinatra were
Dean
both
Martin,
very similar at the
right?
time. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was that era, like right before rock and roll came out and blues and everything, right before then,
Well,
right?
no, because really Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, they all came from the big band era.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra was a singer with the Tommy Dorsey band.
Okay. And that was in like in the 40s?
40s.
Something? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Doris Day used to sing with Benny Goodman. I don't remember.
Okay. Okay.
But
it was
that's where all those people, like the movie stars that came into the 50s, were all singers and dancers with in the 40s with big band.
okay.
They were all
Okay.
triple threats.
That
Mhm.
big band era kind of thing. Okay.
They could sing, they could dance, they could act.
Yep.
Now, did you like that music? Like, did you like your parents' music when you were younger, or did you kind of like not like it? Or do you think you like it now more than you did back then?
I've never. Frank Sinatra's okay. I've never really been a big fan of Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
He's got a good voice, but I've not never really cared for that type of the big band music.
Mhm.
Uh, the people that I listen to now
Mhm.
that were from that era are like Cab Calloway, Louis
Okay.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Otis Redding.
Well, no, Otis Redding is from the
It's from the
60s.
Oh, is he? He's
No,
later.
yeah.
I like Otis Redding.
Me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and getting back to my sister, I mean, that's where I heard the Temptations, and that's where I heard, Marvin Gaye.
Oh, okay.
The Supremes were on WVON.
She'd just be playing it in her room and you'd hear it?
Yeah, or she'd have it on the radio in her car.
Oh,
I do
okay.
know that your sisters do like Frank Sinatra though.
Yeah.
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 And I think they definitely like Louis Prima. So I think they might
Well, I
have
like Louis Prima.
adopted.
But then Louis
You've
Prima
played
swings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It's
say
swing
that
music?
Frank Sinatra swings.
Okay.
Cab Calloway swings.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
So, that musical influence from your family,
Yeah.
anything that you distinctly remember? I know you've probably discovered a lot on your own, but like anything that stands out to you that you discovered in your youth that I know the Beatles, but like something that you stumbled upon that you really loved that you can remember that stands out.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I was younger, in my 10, 11, 12 years old, 13, 14, that's, the middle 60s.
Mhm.
And there were a lot of programs on television at that time. Like there was a program, American Bandstand. I mean, we used to watch American Bandstand.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
But Dick Clark had another program on, and I can't remember what the name of the program was, but that's the first time I heard Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Okay.
That was the house band for that program.
Show? Oh, yeah. Okay. They were the house band? I didn't know. Okay.
And refresh my memory. What was one of their hits that we might all know?
Kicks just keep getting harder to find.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I like that song.
Yeah.
So like from TV shows.
Yeah.
You'd hear that and then
like at that time, I mean, rock and roll was big for like 10 years. And there was a program on Saturday afternoons. And they used to play they used to have bands like Creedence Clearwater Revival. I can remember seeing on that program, and that influenced me to go buy some Creedence albums.
Yeah.
And the Box Tops. I remember the Box Tops. The Human Beings, who did this song
Nobody.
Nobody
but me. Yeah.
Me.
Okay.
And they were on.
Yeah.
So and that influenced me a lot musically.
Okay.
So and then just friends. and listening to the radio in my house. My parents had,
Okay.
of course, had a stereo because that's where they played the record player, but
Mm.
they also had an AM FM stereo, and I used to tune into WLS and WCFL, and I used to listen to the top 40 stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like your version of what our Total Request Live was.
Yeah, like MTV.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And what the Billboard hits are now and what they play on the radio too, because I feel like it's very similar how we got into our music too.
Well, top 40.
From you guys.
Right.
But then also, we would watch TV, Total Request Live, and then we would also, on our way to school or anywhere where we were driving, we would listen to, the radio stations that we would listen to.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's all similar. It's just somewhat different formatting in shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
so we were just kind of talking about this. My dad drove me here. It's been a long time since you picked me up from somewhere. But we were talking about how it's so hard to pin down, like, just your like people. Somebody has asked me before more than once, "What's your favorite song?" Like, and it's like hard. Like,
there's no way I could say that.
No.
there's too many to mention.
Or what's your favorite movie?
Or what's your favorite movie?
Or
That
what's
kind
your
of
favorite
thing.
show? Even
Right.
Like, there's so much content out there that it's like there's no possible way to really like pin that down.
And you can't recall it all at one time.
And also, it changes daily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like, if you asked me,
mood.
in July, who my favorite band would, I would have said Lord Huron, because I was listening to their new record in anticipation of their concert,
Yeah.
So it just really all depends.
Yeah. But I have asked you to kind of
Just narrow that down.
just narrow that down for us. So I kind of prepared you a little bit, gave you a little bit of time. But your top 3 musical groups.
Oh,
You mentioned a few, but
Beatles, of course.
Beatles, yeah.
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead, good
the
one.
Band.
Yeah, he's got a Grateful Dead tattoo.
Okay, that's right, you do.
Yeah.
Or no, it's a skull.
No,
it's a skull. It's a skull, but
But
is
it's
similar
Grateful
to the
Dead adjacent.
adjacent. Yeah.
I like the band,
Okay,
and there's just so many. I mean,
I know.
I like Creedence. I like the Doors.
Yeah,
The Who.
love the
The
Doors.
Who.
Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Yeah.
And it's really, I was thinking about it today.
Mm.
But it's really subjective. Opinions are really subjective, and some people. I've heard people say, "Well, my guitar teacher, he likes early Beatles. He doesn't like the stuff that the Beatles did later on. He doesn't like the Sgt. Pepper,
Right.
all that stuff. He likes the early Beatles, the power pop stuff."
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, it's not unfortunate.
I
it's
mean,
it's what I'm
yeah,
talking
It's
about.
It's
subjective, but it's also unfortunate to me, just because I feel like the early stuff is so great, but I also feel like there's just something about Sgt. Pepper's and Magical Mystery Tour. There's a fun to it. There's an adventure to it.
Well, it's evolution.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
evolved from that power pop 2-minute stuff to 3, 4, 5, 6-minute songs.
Right.
And every song is so different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not so different, but like there's such a like different vibe or different feeling to each song.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess you get that faster and slower songs with each artist, but the Beatles like portrayed characters kind of
Oh yeah.
in different songs, and Magical Mystery Tour and Sgt. Pepper's and even the White Album,
Mhm.
So but yeah,
Like
they're
Rocky Raccoon
Rocky Raccoon,
and
all of that.
Piggies.
Yeah, who is the walrus? I am the
Yeah.
walrus.
The walrus was Paul.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's never been proven. Okay.
Oh, isn't that
I
what
was just
John
kidding.
Lennon said?
They did say that in a song.
Yeah.
What song was that? The walrus was Paul. What song was that?
I am the walrus.
And here's another
Place you can go. Yeah, it was on the White Album, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the White Album.
When they sing about the walrus.
And it
What
starts
song
with
is that?
telling you about strawberry
Fields.
fields. You know the place where nothing is real.
Well, here's another place you can go.
Glass Onion.
Yes.
Glass Onion is the song. Yes.
I was actually just listening to the White Album last week. That's why I can
really
recite the lyrics. Well, you know what, though? They're just baked in my brain already.
I know.
I can turn on any Beatles album and know all the words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, definitely. And the Grateful Dead, I mean, jam band kind of.
Oh, of course.
And
that's kind of what I like. I mean, the Grateful Dead. I mean, I went to see the Grateful Dead in 1973.
I would have loved that.
At the International Amphitheater. And they had an opening act, the New Riders of the Purple Sage. And they played for about 45 minutes. And then about 8 o'clock, the Grateful Dead came on. Okay. And they played until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Because that's how they feel it out.
Yeah.
They have to finish it.
Yeah.
They've got to do it until they
can't
feel
just
it
do a
coming
set,
out.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they'll play a song for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably also, just be like on the stage talking to their audience for a little bit too at times.
No,
right?
actually, they didn't.
Or they were
talk a lot
just
to the
straight
audience.
to
They were
the.
just straight to the music.
Huh.
Okay.
Crazy.
I mean, and really, basically, if you were a Grateful Dead fan, you knew what the songs were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they tacked on a little bit. Like if they, I'm trying to think of a song I know by them, like from that era. What's that song that was?
Well, there's a lot of songs.
I can't recall it right now. But
Uncle John's Band.
So Uncle John's Band, obviously they have to end it sometime on the album. But I wonder, if on stage they played it, but then they kind of
elongate it.
More,
yeah, they jam, they do solos.
Right.
They jammed one song and they right into another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll go from Bertha to Sugar Magnolia.
Sugar Magnolia. That's the one I was thinking of. Because that comes on all the time in my Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ripple.
That is
Ripple comes on.
Ripple, yeah.
On Pandora.
That is genius to me. How they obviously they know the set list, right?
Right.
But that's genius to me how a band can flow into another song and they all are kind of on the same wavelength. The same time. I mean, maybe
they probably had a conversation about it beforehand too. You never know.
Maybe, but maybe one of them cues the other one too.
Yeah,
maybe he's like, okay, we're going in this other song now. We weren't ready 5 minutes ago, but now we are.
I wonder who directs that too. Is that a drum thing because they control the beat? Yeah. Or is that a lead rhythm and guitar thing because they kind of have the melody?
Yes. I think it's a guitar thing because the bass and the drums are just there for
support,
keeping time. Yeah.
Allman Brothers. I was going to mention the Allman Brothers. I mean, the Allman Brothers. If you listen to Live at the Fillmore,
okay.
I mean, they play Whipping Post. The Whipping Post is a 4-minute song. They play for 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they go into this jam. They do the basic, Whipping Post, but then they just go off.
They jam it.
Yeah. And it's like battling guitars between Dickie Betts and Dwayne Allman.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. That'd be so cool to see something like that.
If anybody out there has Eat a Peach, they do Mountain Jam. Mountain Jam's 30 minutes long.
Wow. Crazy. That reminds me.
Eat a Peach and Mountain Jam just sounds like something you would find at your, general greengrocers, flavors of preserves.
Right. There should be an Allman Brothers line
of jellies and jams. Yeah.
Yeah, from all the titles you're saying. That reminds me, because we went to a concert once. It was Railroad Earth,
Yeah.
who I'd never heard of before.
And the string cheese incident.
Yes. Oh, you remember?
Well, yeah, I brought you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember Railroad Earth is a jam band, and they just played, and I'm like, and it like
You were like, when? Yeah, you were like,
is it
when are we gonna go home?
over
I'm
yet?
tired.
Yeah, but it was like a 10-piece band.
Yeah.
They
That was a lot.
don't stop.
Yeah.
Jam bands are
Yeah.
But it was good music for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be prepared to like
Tuck
make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
settle
tuck in.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But another thing I wanted to cover was, and I included this in our notes, but who do you feel is one of the greatest musicians? And I know, like, obviously there's more than one that you're just like, well, but he's really good too, or she's amazing for writing these songs, or whoever. Like, it's so hard to pinpoint, but
It is.
I'll give you a top 3, I guess, but I asked you for one, but
Well, I think nobody, and the people are talking now. I think the best guitarist I've ever seen, and I didn't see him in concert, unfortunately, because he died, was Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow, yeah.
Adam and I were talking about that too. We were talking because we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I love Jimi Hendrix. And when we got to the Jimi Hendrix section, I fell in love with him even more because he would draw these weird drawings, and he was just such a creative person. And I just lament what he could have been. I mean, he was already such a talented person and such an influence on so many people, but I just lament what some of these people who, we lose like that at a young age could have been.
Yeah.
I lament John Lennon dying so young.
Right.
Yeah. I love that Star Spangled Banner.
Oh,
he did.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I listened to that recently.
We got, didn't we get Adam Electric Ladyland?
Yes.
A Merman I Turned to Be is probably my favorite. Even though Voodoo Child is a really good song, I think A Merman I Turned to Be is probably my favorite song on that album.
It's a good song.
Okay.
It's a good album in general.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we turned it on, like I don't know all of Jimi Hendrix songs, but like there's not a bad song.
No.
No.
Like, and like I said, every album they're not all bangers for sure, but like you turn it on and it's as the kids used to say, a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I used to work with somebody that I think he's a little older than you, Dad, but he was a big fan of Jimi Hendrix, and I always thought that you guys should like sit down and talk. He had every album. He'd always have music playing. We used to work at a residential facility, and he used to have music playing down the hallway where the kids had their rooms all the time, and all sorts of music. But I remember he was a big Jimi Hendrix fan. Still, I mean, he still is, obviously. But he used to draw too. So I think he used to show me stuff that Jimi Hendrix drew, and pictures of Jimi Hendrix. And shout out to Dave.
I was gonna say, I was like, is that Dave?
Dave,
Yeah.
But yeah, Jimi Hendrix is amazing, or was amazing, and it's a real shame that he passed on
Too soon.
too soon. Ruby actually has the same birthday, November 27th.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, any other bands you could think of, any
Well,
or
musicians,
individuals?
or
Yeah.
I think Dwayne Allman is a good guitarist. I think, of course, Jimmy Page.
yeah. You do listen to who's that
Jeff Beck.
guitar player? That one that sings. He's that guitar player that died in a helicopter crash.
Oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Very
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I've never I maybe heard you listen to him before, but a song came on at WXRT of his, um, and I didn't know who it was at first, and then they said, and I'm like, oh, that was really good. I forgot the
Mm-hmm.
name of the song, of course, but yeah, yeah, and of course you're in guitar class.
I'm taking guitar lessons. Yes,
Yeah,
always
right.
wanted to,
Yeah,
but growing up, the family came first,
Yes.
so all the money went to the family. Now that I'm retired, I can take guitar lessons and
do whatever you want.
yeah,
Of course,
well,
it's harder. It's harder to learn and get into if you don't, pick it up when you're a kid. I
of
feel
course,
like.
being younger, and really, I mean, I don't know that I would have when I was younger. I mean, I took
Okay.
piano lessons when
I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I took piano lessons when I was like 6, 7 years old, and I started taking them in the fall when it was getting cold. And by the time summer came around, I didn't want to sit in the house and practice. I wanted to go out and play.
Right. Right.
Well,
Was it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've taken guitar lessons throughout my life too, and learned how to play off and on, and never super well. But I will say that the difference between somebody who gets really good, or even just okay, at that stuff, just that they can just play. The difference between those people and me is that they I think they just have more of the patience and the drive to commit to it.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, I I don't know if I have ADD or what,
Okay.
but I can't. I'm not the
Focus.
kind of person who can just park it and really,
Yeah.
meditate and do something for hours and hours. Like I had my first boyfriend. He could play guitar and teach himself for hours and
Mhm.
hours
Yeah.
Mhm.
every day.
There is a drive.
Yes.
Yeah,
There
for
is.
sure. Yeah.
And that's what I told my teacher at one point. I said, um, I was learning Day Tripper by the Beatles. And I finally said, because I was getting it, but I wasn't getting it.
Mm.
There was a point where I could probably play it all the way through without making a mistake. And I just thought I just told my teacher, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I'm not going to perform. I'm not going to go out on stage and perform these songs, but
Mhm.
I just like to learn them for me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I try to practice about an hour a day.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So you can retain some of that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you got to keep it up. It's a muscle,
mhm.
Yeah. I always did want to learn how to play piano. They play it on Instagram a lot, but there's that Nocturne Number 9 by Chopin,
Mhm.
which I first heard. I probably heard it before then, but they featured it on an episode of American Horror Story. It has to do with the witches, and they
Mhm.
do this old like black and white like 20s silent film kind of thing, and they're only playing that Chopin song.
That sounds
And
cool.
yeah, and I've always thought that would be. It's such a beautiful piano song that I always wanted to play. It would be so satisfying to be able to memorize it and play it.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, it's so complicated. There's so many different
Mhm.
parts to it.
Mhm.
The thing is that it would have that have that satisfaction. I would be satisfied to be able to play that. And I bet being a musician, it's very satisfying to be able to
play it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
music that you love to hear,
Right.
Or create.
Right.
But yeah.
But again, I think it's very much easier when you get into it when you're young, and not always,
Yeah.
but
Well, you guys are still young.
but I'm saying like when you're
A child.
yeah, I want to say like anywhere from like 8 to like 14 is a really good sweet spot to like start.
Yeah.
To really like have a retention, to really, because they even say that the younger you teach kids languages, the more they absorb, the more they use.
Yeah.
You know, your brain is like a sponge when you're younger. And the thing is yes, me and Katie are still young, but we also have responsibilities and time constraints that don't allow for that type of drive and focus.
Well, the thing, it may be easier when you're younger, but you also have the attention span of a gnat when you're that age. So
you always will also want to do other things.
From
yeah.
Here to there, so
yeah.
I still have that attention span.
I do too. Sometimes it's hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, you don't. The kids that do that, the kids either have parents that make them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's true.
This is the 2 hours a day that you're going to sit down and practice your piano or practice your violin because you wanted to take violin, so this is what you're going to do.
Right.
I never had that.
Okay.
Me neither. But you know what? I think that's a nice freedom.
I had the attention span of a gnat. And
so that's where we get it from.
You know what? It's funny too because I will say this. I do think that there are all different families. I've said that before on this podcast, but I will say this. I think that there are even families that are so regimented with schoolwork and things like that the time that you practice your instrument is like playtime for some kids.
That's true.
It is.
You know?
Well, and some kids just have it. They just have that
drive and focus.
Yes,
they want to do it.
I want to learn, or maybe maybe they want to. Maybe they have a friend that plays in the school band, and they want to play in the school band.
Or so maybe they're forming a band themselves with their friends, and somebody's got to learn bass, so you're going to learn bass, and somebody's got to learn drums because we're going to make this band, so you're going to learn drums.
Right.
Whatever the circumstance, there's all different reasons why people do have that drive and focus. But I never did because I have the attention span of Nat and still do.
We're the Nat family.
Yeah,
apparently.
Family. We're just flitting around.
But I mean, you and Mom are the reason that I love music.
Yeah, same.
Basically.
Right.
We were introduced to so many good, Mom loves the Moody Blues. I still listen to the Moody Blues to this day.
Good band.
Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, of course, all of that.
The Who. Everybody keeps forgetting
the Who.
Well, who could Boris the Spider, man.
Boris the Spider forever. yeah.
Happy Jack.
Baba O'Reilly.
Although that's one that everybody knows. But I'm talking about like deep cuts like Happy Jack and Boris the Spider, which people don't often. That actually came on the radio on Adam's Sirius radio, and I was like, he's like, how do you know the song? I'm like, how do you not know the song if you like the Who? It's Boris the Spider.
Well, even like the premiere, like Led Zeppelin's. It's been a long time since a rock and roll. Like that's one of their top songs, but like sometimes you just haven't heard it in a long time. It comes on the radio and you're just like, this is an awesome song.
Yeah. Or the fact that like I loved the Lord of the Rings growing up, and I also loved Led Zeppelin, but it wasn't until recently where I heard the song and he's like, Mada, and I'm like, oh, he's singing about
the Gollum, the evil one.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
so I was like,
yeah. So many. We're probably forgetting tons of bands and stuff, but there's too few. But is there anything else that?
When I was about 17, 18 years old, I had a friend, and we sat down one day, and we just tried to make a list of every band we knew at the time.
Okay.
It was quite an impressive list.
Okay. Yeah.
And quite an impressive exercise for someone with the attention span of a gnat.
Yes. Well, I think that's all we have for this evening. Unless you guys have anything else. I do want to say
one more thing.
Please.
I know that probably everybody's saying this, but I just want to say how sad it is for the loss of Rob Reiner and his wife.
Oh, very sad.
I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up loving his movies.
The Princess Bride.
The Princess Bride,
Mhm.
When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
I've never seen A Few Good Men, but I've always
No, I've
wanted
never
to.
seen it either. Alex says I need to see it, so you've
And
probably
this
seen
is
it.
Spinal Tap,
Mm-hmm.
and they were working on the sequel.
Yeah.
And I just, it's such a tragedy.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that he definitely heavily influenced my life through
film.
major motion pictures.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that.
But
So.
I didn't know A Few Good Men.
He
Yeah.
directed
That was
that?
a Rob Reiner film.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I
I've
didn't know
never
that
seen
either.
it. I had never seen it,
As a
but
matter of fact, I was flipping
I
through
want to see
Instagram
it.
today, and Kevin Bacon.
I love Kevin
was
Bacon.
on, and he was eulogizing Rob Reiner, and he was saying Rob Reiner called me specifically and offered me the part.
In A Few Good Men?
In a few
Okay.
good men, and he said we'd have lunch every day together. I never had a director that had lunch with me every day. We'd have lunch together every day
Yeah.
while filming that show.
And I know that he's beloved in that community, and I can't wrap my head around it. I told my husband, out of all the people that I would ever even think that could be close to having their end come that way,
Mm-hmm.
I never would I ever have thought that such a nice person and his wife would meet that end. And I wanted to say that's so sad. And I'm,
Again, Harry Connick was on Instagram, and he was talking about how Rob Reiner called him to score When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a great movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know it's a romantic comedy, so maybe not a lot of dudes were into it, but I do think it was it's a funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has some funny parts. Yeah, it has that iconic scene with Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's also very, I feel like it's also very real to relationships too. Maybe in an offbeat way, but still,
Yes.
So anyways, that was my last mention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching, tuning in.
Thank you for coming to our weird little corner of the internet. And we love that you're here.
Let us know what musical groups we're forgetting.
Yeah,
let us know what musical
you love, and what you were exposed to when you were younger, musically by your parents.
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, guys. Good night.
Night.
Thanks for having me.
See you later.